Okay, so before I delve into this video, apologies for the lack of content in the last week or so. I just needed a little bit of a break, a bit of an unwind over the weekend. So yes, I did miss the three excellent Six Nations matches. The results were really surprising. Two really close games and apparently a classic between Ireland and France. And Italy nearly beating England and Scotland nearly throwing away a 27-point lead against Wales. I mean, who would have had betting on those results? The Ireland game, yeah, there's a red card in there, and that does obviously help Ireland get over the line. And that's the final everyone really wanted from the World Cup, which we were denied by both sides, failing to get past the quarter-final stage. So yeah, there will be some more. There will be some Six Nations content. There will be some Six Nations match reviews from this weekend onwards. I just needed a little bit of a detune from everything over the weekend. I just relaxed over the weekend, needed a bit of a break. But without any further ado, let's have a look at channel viewership. The last month versus all time, and we're looking at percentages of viewers, where they're from, and the age range of viewers, percentages of where they're from. So the last month has thrown up some um, really interesting numbers, especially in the age range of viewers. I am a bit surprised with the lack of younger viewers, especially, and how it just drops off with older viewers recently. Although all time, we do have a lot of older viewers. A lot of viewers are actually older than me. So there's some interesting numbers being thrown up by the YouTube analytics. Now, there is a delay of 48 hours, so the last 2 days, those view counts don't count for this video. So if I was doing this video in 2 days' time, the view counts in the last couple of days would count before that. So the top 5 countries for viewership in the last month. Fifth place is Ireland with only 0.4%. Now that is low, but Ireland does appear in the top 5 list all time with a much higher percentage. But I've found Irish viewers really knowledgeable about their sport, even if it's not Gaelic Athletic Association sport or rugby union. They are very, very knowledgeable about their sports. They will watch a lot of sport, and as I say, very, very knowledgeable. Very, very knowledgeable in regards to non-traditional Irish sports as well. They really consume a lot of sport, very knowledgeable fan base, and a very knowledgeable country. And I've had great discussions in the comments section with Irish viewers. In fourth place in the last month is Canada with 0.5%. Now, Canada does not make the top 5 all time. I do have a very good relationship with my Canadian subscribers and viewers. I've actually been invited out to Canada by a couple of them to catch some NHL games at some point, hopefully, when the channel becomes self-sufficient and we can make some money. Maybe I could do a trip to Canada, go see the Maple Leafs play or the Jets play, and go to the Hockey Hall of Fame, that kind of thing. That's on the bucket to-do list. But as I found with Canadian viewers as well, very knowledgeable about sport, not just the NHL, but very knowledgeable about a lot of sports. A lot of Canadians do watch the other North American major leagues, especially those who are outside of Toronto. Toronto isn't the mecca of everything in Canada. A lot of other cities in Canada, a lot of sports fans in Canada will watch the NFL. They will watch Major League Soccer. There are quite a few Major League Soccer teams in Canada. They're big fans of baseball, even without the Montreal Expos and just with the Blue Jays, and they will follow the NBA. So, and they are also interested in other sports other than ice hockey, and they are a very knowledgeable fan base. But they come in with 0.5%. The big surprise for me, and the big drop-off for me percentage-wise, the USA comes in at third over the last month with 2.5%. Overall, they do make the all-time list with a much higher percentage. So view counts from America have been dropping off significantly. They've dropped down um, um, in percentage of views. They are still in the top 5. Australia comes in at second with 16.6%. I'm not surprised by this. The growth in Australian viewership, especially in the last couple of years, has been really, really noticeable. Very, very noticeable. Now, obviously, a lot of my content is rugby league and rugby union, and in Australia, that is rugby league, especially, is kind of a religion on the east coast of Australia, all the way from Melbourne up to Townsville in northern Queensland. It's a very, very popular sport. The battle between the NRL and the AFL is well known domestically in Australia, and of course the NRL is taking games to Las Vegas, which does surprise me that the US viewership is as low as it is, but the Australian viewership has gone up. Uh, they do appear in the top 5 list as well. Now, of course, I'm a UK-based YouTuber, so 40.8% of viewers in the last month are from the UK. Now, the crossover with the all-time is what we're going to get to. Now, in 5th place all-time is Ireland with 1.7%. So, historically, there have been a lot of Irish viewers That number is growing. The last month's been a bit quiet on the channel front, but all-time Irish viewers are there, and that's mostly to do with my rugby union content, especially the Six Nations and, of course, the recent World Cup. As I say, Irish viewers, very knowledgeable. They've got a lot more knowledge than just rugby union and the Gaelic Athletic Association. I have done videos on the GAA as well, but they are a very, very knowledgeable sports fan base in Ireland. Very, very knowledgeable. Fourth place all time is New Zealand with 2.6%. I am surprised they haven't made the top five in the last month, considering obviously with the NRL content that I do. But Kiwi sports fans, again, exceptionally knowledgeable. Exceptionally knowledgeable, more than just rugby union and rugby league. They're a very, very knowledgeable fan base and a very global sports fan base as well. Obviously, the All Blacks and the Maoris and all. When it comes to rugby league and rugby union, obviously they are the teams that obviously carry the flag for New Zealand internationally. But they are a very knowledgeable sports fan base. Now, the USA does come in at third, much like it does in the last month, with 4.7%. So you can see there's a massive drop-off in viewership from the United States, which does surprise me. I have done a fair bit of Major League Baseball content lately, and there will be more NHL content to come as well. There's a few discussion points about where potentially the NHL could expand to next. There's a fair few cities on the list that want to have an expansion team, and the NHL hasn't ruled it out. And it's looking very, very likely that Salt Lake City could potentially be the 33rd location the NHL plays as a team. And of course, the ongoing Arizona Coyotes arena situation. And then, of course, you've got the Oakland A's with their ongoing relocation palaver with Major League Baseball. Australia does come in at second all-time with 5.4%, although recently viewership figures for Australia as a percentage of the channel viewership has gone up. They sit at 5.4%. There was a period in time where the US and Australia were neck and neck for a very, very long time, just swapping second and third place with similar percentages. Australia's kicked on, and more of a percentage of viewers are from Australia. Now, the UK comes in at top with 43.5%. At one point, that was as high as 70 to 80%. So while the numbers of viewers from the UK has actually remained pretty constant all time, which means more people from outside the UK and Ireland, for that matter, because I lump Ireland in with that really, are more people from around the world are viewing in larger numbers. The UK is, say, particularly consistent. I don't see the UK getting knocked off top spot anytime soon, not with the amount of domestic football and rugby union, rugby league that I obviously cover on the channel. The age of viewers is where I'm really, really stumped. So in the last month, only two age demographic groups have been represented by data. Now, yes, some people do disguise their age online, either to appear older or younger. But if we're going by what YouTube is saying, the 25 to 34 age demographic, 79.7% of viewers are in my age range demographic. Now, I'm 34 now, so in 10 months' time, I'm 35, so I'll be getting basically middle age. So I'm in my mid 30s, but my age range consume basically 80% of content in the last month. Now, the 35 to 44 age range demographic is 20.3%, and that's it. That is it for the last month. No one younger or older, no one younger than 25 or older than 44 has been consuming content on the channel. But all time, the stats are completely different. Now, the school age teenagers and going to sixth form and further education, that 13 to 17 demographic, I'm really surprised that only 0.5% of viewers all time on the channel are teenagers, basically. Basically in education. I'm really, really surprised. You would think that, kids would be sports mad, be playing sport, going to games with, relatives, friends and family. They're just not consuming the content, and that's been a trend throughout the channel's existence. Younger viewers just don't watch. There's been a massive shift in the sports demographic. Now, the 18 to 24 age range, 26.8% of viewers all time are basically my brother's age demographic. Now, my brother's in his early 20s, 18 to 24. About a quarter of viewers are aged 18 to 24 all time, but they haven't been watching in the last month. They have not been watching recently, which I find interesting. Now, the 25 to 34 age range demographic, 48.5% driving the channel is my age demographic. So those who are working, university graduates, those in full-time employment, so basically my age range. The 35 to 44 age demographic is 12.1% all time. which is lower than recently. In fact, the 25 to 34 age range is also lower than the last month. But these 18 to 44 is basically the engine room of the channel. So the 1830 club basically will, the tour operators will give the lads holidays packages to Greece and Spain. 18 to 44 is that age range is driving the channel. But we do have a lot of older viewers. So 45 to 54, 6.8% all time. 55 to 64 is 3.4% all time. And 2% of viewers are retirement age pensioners at over 65 years old. That is ridiculous. So older viewers do view the content. Most of it is to do when I do sports team histories and player profiles. I've noticed when I upload, let's say, a football club history, for example, there will be older viewers who may remember, oh, I was at that cup final in '77, or I remember watching that on the TV, that particular match or particular tournament that player played in the early '80s. So basically my parents' generation, they do watch. But what is really interesting is the last month that only 25 to 44-year-olds have been watching, according to what the YouTube data is saying. So it's very, very interesting that I actually have more older viewers than I would expect, and less younger viewers than I would expect. Now, I am surprised that no 18 to 24-year-olds have been watching over the last month. There's been a lot of live sport. There's been a lot of things to discuss on the channel. But it does show that sports content, the majority of viewers will be aged between 25 and 44, which is basically my age range. Um, Basically, a lot of my work colleagues are in this age range. A lot of my friends and family are in this age range. And you're seeing when we discuss fans in attendance, the average age of a fan in attendance is in this age range. The average football fan going to a game is mid 30s to mid 40s, which is the age ranges we're looking at. The only major sports league that we definitely know has an older demographic of fans in attendance is baseball. Basketball, for example, has a lot of younger fans in attendance. Rugby league and rugby union, they're obviously trying to make their sports more exciting for families and younger fans, because there's been a bit of a trend of older fans not being happy with the direction those sports are taking. Obviously, football, you get the next young superstar coming along. The video game franchises like EA Sports and 2K, they obviously do target the younger fan, but it's very, very interesting that younger viewers aren't watching. That's what surprises me. That's where the big surprises lie, is actually in the viewer age ranges. So I am surprised that I have a fair percentage of older viewers, around, I'm going to say about 11-12% of viewers are over the age of 45, and a fair chunk of them are actually retirees. So I do have a lot of older viewers on the channel and a lot of older subscribers on the channel. So in the comments section below, please place where you are from in the world, because over half my viewers are not from the UK. 60% or thereabouts, 59% of my viewers in the last month, and in the last, well, in the lifetime of the channel, 56, 57% of viewers are from outside the UK. And while I'm given the top 5, there are many countries that have, where the channel's viewed and where people consume the content. And that could be expats, that could be someone on holidays just in that location at the time, just comes up on the channel, on their notification. But it's very, very interesting that as time has gone on, the UK has got a smaller percentage of the viewership. And that Australia in the last month has exploded with the numbers viewing is higher than what it is all times. There's growth in Australia. The UK has plateaued, and the US is dropping down in percentage of views. So there we go. There's some interesting. It's a quick look at the channel viewership and age ranges of viewers and where people are viewing from. But anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts in the comments section below, where you're from, for example, how long you've been watching the channel for, and I'll have some more in Plymouth. We have more replays as well in the FA Cup. I think this is the last round of replays in the FA Cup this season. We may lose FA Cup replays altogether in the next couple of years. So make the most of them while they exist. But for me, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you very, very soon.